Welcome to another Gateways for Seniors audio program. Our topic today is simple ways for working caregivers to help their aging parents. And our guest is Ray Mayu, owner of Community House Calls in Chester, New Hampshire. Ray, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Well, you know, one of the things we read is that each year the U.S. Product Safety Commission estimates 1 million people over age 65 end up being treated in a hospital emergency room or somewhere for injuries associated with the products they live with and the products they use just every day. And then, of course, there's, slips and falls, and that's probably the main source of injury for older people in the home as well. We'd appreciate any thoughts, ideas you have on ways that caregivers can work to make homes safer for their aging parents or loved ones.
Good question. And yes, slips and falls are the main source of injury for seniors and adults with disabilities, quite honestly. And the reality is most of these falls happen in the bathroom. So a bathroom is a critical area to look at.
And there's plenty of things, unfortunately, you can land on in a bathroom that can dislocate a shoulder, head injury, all the things that go with that.
Absolutely.
Probably the worst place.
It is absolutely. And, from flooring to integrity of where the fixtures are placed and so on and so forth, it can make some challenges, particularly in a small bathroom. So
sure.
Bathroom safety in my mind is critical. But what I usually tell people is look at your home with a different set of eyes. Pretend you're that person that is having some balance issues or might be a risk for falling, and look to see what's in your own home. Are the carpets frayed? Are there scatter rugs that are a tripping hazard? Are the stairs marked for people with low vision? Is the lighting important to change in your home? Because light, as we age, our vision becomes a little more compromised, and we don't
sure.
see as well as we did when we were younger. So lighting is important during the day, but it's even more critical at night. So I ask people to really look at lighting when they're looking at their own home. But you really want to, again, take a second look. Pretend you're a different person, like you've never been in that house before, and if it looks like a challenge, then it is, and then you find a way to mitigate it. So it's a simple walkthrough.
Well, a couple of questions then, and just things that you brought up. You mentioned marking the stairs and lighting.
Yes.
And many in homes, particularly older homes, stairwells can be relatively dark. There may be a light far at the top. But you mentioned about improving the lighting and marking the stairs. Some ideas?
Well, what I like to see is people, again, particularly at night, use night lighting, and there is some specific night lights you can get that aren't just going to illuminate the wall, but that will send a path of light right down the stairwell or the hallway. They're directional night lights.
Sure.
And those I find very helpful. But I also find what I'd like to do for people is to mark the very first stair and the very last stair, sometimes all of them, with some gripping tape, but also glow-in-the-dark gripping tape. It's been a wonderful feature because once you get your first step, you're more likely
much fine.
to do the balance of the stairs. But if you miss that first step, going up or going down, then you've got a problem. I also like to see handrails on each side. Sometimes there's a handrail on one side, but I feel this very strongly about this. If you're predominantly strong on your left side going up, then on your right side going down, if there's nothing there, you have a challenge. So there should be always two handrails on each stairwell. So couple two handrails with light and some gripping glowing-in-the-dark tape, then you probably get as much success going forward as you could possibly have.
I see, that's something I had never thought of, but it makes absolute sense, and it's easy and inexpensive at the same time.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's go back to the bathroom for a second.
Yeah.
We talk about how many things happen, and again, in many older homes or smaller homes,
right,
such as we might find our parents in, or even condos and apartments. Bathrooms can be pretty small and pretty compact. Any things that I can do in the bathroom to really, enhance the safety?
Absolutely. I'm a firm believer that every shower stall or shower tub unit should have grab bars. It doesn't matter what age you are. Anybody can slip in a tub or a shower. So I like to see a grab bar upon entrance and a grab bar on the long wall so that people have something to grab onto, to position themselves if they're seating, but also to grab onto if they lose their balance. I also like to see, for people who are aging and have a harder time lowering and rising, a grab bar by the toilet. A grab bar by the toilet, I think, is essential for that function. And that can be a smooth grab bar. And I just need to get back to an earlier point. When I mentioned grab bars in the shower and in the tub, what people want to do is get something that's an anti-slip, because if you're in the shower or the tub, your hands are wet.
Sure.
And if it's not an anti-slip or it's smooth, then you have more chance of not getting the grip that you want. By the toilet, it's not as essential, but there should be one there. Also, for small bathrooms, what we've done and what I think is very helpful for people is a fold-down grab bar. So it folds up and out of the way when you don't need it, but it folds down by your side when you do, and that helps with accessing or your toilet or whatever you're trying to do in the bathroom. So they're a nice feature, and they're becoming more and more popular and more decorative. And what's nice too is products are looking less institutional than ever. So
That's
if you want
a big concern.
If you want a gold grab bar, then you can have a gold grab bar. If you want a bronze one, red, pink, whatever you want, it can be done now.
Absolutely. I guess the rule of thumb then would probably be that if you have someone who's in danger, especially in the bathroom, of slipping or falling or is a little bit unsteady, try to always have a grab bar of some kind within reach from wherever they are. And I would think that's something that I could do, go into the bathroom and test that myself to see if I'm always in reach of something to give me the stability I need.
You're 100% correct, and that's exactly what we do. Is we ask somebody to show me your activities of daily living as it relates to the bathroom. How are you getting on and off the toilet? How are you getting in and out of the shower or the tub? Let's look at those things. Look for people where their hands go, and they might be grabbing the corner of the shower stall, trying to get in, or what have you. But that's exactly right. Look to see what you do and where you might need an assist.
In fact, I heard a story of a gentleman who fell because he put his hand on the toilet roll and was using that again on the wall as a way to prop himself up.
Right.
And of course, being drywall, it ripped out at the last moment, causing an accident.
Yeah, and I say that to people all the time. It's like, well, I have a towel bar here. And I said, you know what, Edna? The towel bar is meant to support a towel, not a person. So if you go to grab that, it might be fine, every once in a while or for now. But if you really put your full weight on that, you're not going to be happy with the outcome.
Well, any other things in any other key rooms in the house where we can look to do something that will make a difference? Kitchen, bedrooms?
In the kitchen, I like to ask people to look at the products they use the most, and let's put them in an accessible location. So we're not getting up on step ladders, we're not reaching high into cabinets. Let's get the things you use on a day-to-day basis in a spot that you can use them. So oftentimes we do simple things like pull out shelving into the lower cabinets so that people can get to things easier instead of reaching all the way back in, and just looking again at that environment, what helps that person get to the things they need, and more importantly, conserve energy and be safe. Because if we conserve energy with the minimal tasks, they don't become major tasks. You have more energy to use for the other things you want to do throughout the day.
Makes good sense. Let me ask you one final question before we run out of time. We've all, of course, remember the famous ad, "I've fallen and I can't get up."
Right.
And I think that's probably the kind of thing that most caregivers worry that's going to happen. Let's say, the case of, dad or mom falls and they're not within range of a telephone. Any recommendations?
Well, certainly a cell phone that's in your pocket is a great idea to have, because it's easy to retrieve and program it to 911. One thing that I should point out too, though, if people don't have the funds or the ability to have a cell phone and pay the monthly charges, cell phones are available through your local ServiceLink. ServiceLink takes cell phones in, refurbishes them, and then gives them to people that don't have the means to pay for their own cell phones. That's a resource.
And that could be set up so there's an auto dial for 911 or to call the children or a neighbor or something like that.
Exactly. So that's one thing that people can do. The other thing that people can do is get a personal emergency response system, which is a pendant or a wristband that they would wear that would call a central dispatch center in times of an emergency.
Ray, I really appreciate these ideas. I've learned some things today, and I'm sure the people listening to this program have as well. If they have more questions or need some help with these kind of modifications, what's the best way to reach Community House Calls?
I guess and what we've talked about today is really just the tip of the iceberg.
I know that.
And I feel this way. If there's a challenge, there is a way to mitigate it. And it's important about being able to function in our own homes, be independent, and have a quality of life, and stay in our homes as long as possible.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we all want, and that is the mission and the goal of the company. But to answer your question, the best way to get a hold of us would be the main number, which is 603-887-7878, and we're also on the web at communityhousecalls.com.
Okay, so we'll repeat that. The phone number is 603-887-7878. Our guest, it's been Ray Mayhew from Community House Calls. Ray, thanks once again, and it was a pleasure having you join us.
My pleasure. Thank you.